Good morning. Welcome to the 2022 Annual Stockholders Meeting of Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod Incorporated, formerly Allied Care Experts Medical Center Bacolod Incorporated. I would like to inform our stockholders that copies of the meeting documents, including the 2022 Definitive Information Statement, may be downloaded from our website, www.apmcbacolod.com. All participants will be on mute mode to facilitate order in this meeting. Please use the chat box for queries and comments. This meeting will be recorded. We will start in 10 minutes.
Bacolod, a dream that is slowly being fulfilled as we speak. The need to provide excellent medical care that is affordable and available is something that Bacolod and Negros have been clamoring for years. Soon, it will be a reality. Medical services that were once unavailable in our locality will now be accessible to the people of Negros. As founding physicians, we have amassed years of clinical experience, and this has been translated to the core values of our hospital.
A. Adaptability. In a dynamic world, we embrace the advancement in healthcare technology. B. Pursuit of excellence. We commit to engage in learning opportunities to enhance knowledge and mastery of skills. M. Mutual respect. We value everyone for who they are and respect the uniqueness of every individual. C. Compassion. We act with benevolence towards our stakeholders and the people we serve. B. Beneficence. We advocate charity and equity for the greater good of the community. I. Integrity. We are accountable to God and to our fellow men, conducting ourselves with genuineness and transparency in upholding moral and ethical principles in everything that we do. Our mission: to provide compassionate and complete healthcare services anchored on patient engagement, envisions that by 2030, we will be recognized as an excellent healthcare facility with global standards in the Asia-Pacific region through holistic patient care, quality training, innovation, and research.
With these core values in our hearts and in our minds, we envision to be the leading healthcare institution, providing the most modern, safe, compassionate, and affordable health services of the highest quality for the people closest to our hearts, the people of Negros.
Good morning. I would like to inform our stockholders that copies of the 2022 Definitive Information Statement may be downloaded from our website, www.apmcbacolod.com. All participants will be on mute mode to facilitate order in this meeting. Please use a chat box for queries and comments. This meeting will be recorded. We will start in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2022 Annual Stockholders Meeting of Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod Incorporated. May I request everyone to please rise for the invocation and to remain standing for the Philippine National Anthem.
O Lord, our God, our Father, Creator of heaven and earth, you have blessed Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod. Another year of development and progress. Today, you make this important event possible, and we celebrate with thanksgiving in our hearts.
Lest we forget what is written in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 20, that states, "The God of heaven himself will help us succeed. Therefore, we will arise and build." Lord God, the people whom you chose as founders of this big and noble project believe in what you have written in the days of old. You are the same God of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Help us build and execute this project in a manner that honors you. Though we may be facing challenges and hardships in this project, foster in our minds and in our hearts that success only comes from above. Lord, we pray for the following people: the President of the Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod, Dr. Virginal Beron, whom you have chosen to lead. Continue to bless him, Father, with an astute mind and a heart of good governance based on biblical principles. The APMC officers and board of directors whom you placed in their respective positions, that each one will work steadfastly and in unity for the good of the corporation. The construction team, engineers, architects, managers, and workers, that you may give them the strength and energy in building this hospital project. The APMC office staff, that you may continue to give them a joyful heart in serving the clients that come their way. And last but not the least, the investors of Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod. May this hospital project be the center of their wellness. Father, you have blessed Asia Pacific Medical Center in so many ways. The resources, the time, the ideas, the learning, the camaraderie, the laughter, the friendship that develops over time, and most of all, the prayer in every meeting, recognizing that apart from you we can do nothing, and with the conviction that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us.
Lord God, may your name be honored and glorified in this noble and beautiful project called Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod. This we pray in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, helas ang sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang pinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng pagkaw, ay hinagang tulakaw.
Ladies and gentlemen, stockholders and guests, may I present to you the Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod Incorporated officers, Board of Directors, from 24 of July 2021 to 14 of August 2022, and the founders. Chairman and President, Dr. Ferginel G. Biron. Vice Chairman, Dr. Bel Manuel G. Magallanes. Executive Vice President, Dr. Danilo C. Regozo. Corporate Secretary, Dr. Maria I.V. V. Malata. Assistant Secretary, Dr. Meredy D. Lavilla. Treasurer, Dr. Maria Laila M. Magbanwa. Assistant Treasurer, Dr. Rona P. Balinas. Members, Dr. Olga H. Pabicon, Dr. Jimmy B. Pasete, Dr. David G. Pedroza, Dr. Sherwin Low D. Rodrigo, Dr. May Claire R. Adi. Independent Directors, Dr. Albin Teodoro P. Abad, Dr. Jocelyn C. Encarnacion, Dr. John Clifton U. Martir. And now, let us all welcome the Chairman and President of the Board of APMC Bacolod Incorporated, Dr. Ferginel G. Biron, to formally open this 2022 Annual Stockholders Meeting.
Good morning. I hereby call this meeting to order at 9:17 a.m. of August 14, 2022. In an unprecedented event, we're holding this meeting via remote communication in compliance with the regulations set by the Securities and Exchange Commission and in support of the efforts to contain the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to thank our stockholders for joining us in this Zoom webinar. Joining me in this meeting are Dr. Bel Manuel Magallanes, our Vice Chairman, Dr. Danilo C. Regozo, our Executive Vice President, Dr. Maria I.V. Malata, our Corporate Treasurer, Dr. Meredy D. Lavilla, our Assistant Corporate Secretary, Dr. Rona T. Balinas, our Assistant Corporate Treasurer, our other members of the board, our Compliance Officer and Legal Counsel, Attorney Maylene D. Villanueva, our Data Privacy Officer, Mr. Ariel S. Malata, and our External Auditor, Mr. Richard S. Querido, who are joining the meeting via Zoom. Madam Corporate Secretary, have the stockholders of the corporation been duly notified of this meeting?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the 24th and 25th of July 2022, we have sent to our stockholders of record as of 25th of July 2022 the notice of stockholders meeting, the proxy form, and the definitive information statement in three ways. First, via email to those who have provided us their email addresses. Second, by posting in our corporation's website. And third, by publication in Manila Times and Manila Standard newspapers. Accordingly, Mr. Chairman, our stockholders have been notified of this meeting in accordance to our bylaws and applicable rules, including our internal guidelines of their participation in this annual stockholders meeting via remote communication and voting in absentia under the extraordinary circumstances which are embodied in our definitive information statement that the Securities and Exchange Commission approved.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Will you please tell us if we have a quorum at this meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. For the quorum present in this meeting, stockholders holding 201,734 shares, representing 97.17% of the 207,600 total subscribed and outstanding shares. Hence, there is a quorum, and this meeting may proceed. Mr. Chairman, we will reflect in the minutes of this meeting the breakdown of stockholders present in terms of their mode of attendance and the percentage of the outstanding shares that they own, as well as the number of those joining us in this Zoom meeting.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Government regulations prevented us from conducting in-person meetings. Nevertheless, we have strived to provide our stockholders the opportunity to participate in this meeting to the extent possible as in-person meeting. Our Corporate Secretary, Dr. Maria Ivy V. Malata, will now share the rules of conduct and procedure for this meeting. Madam Secretary, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The rules of conduct and procedure for this meeting have been set forth in the definitive information statement and explanation of agenda items which form part of the notice of the annual stockholders meeting. I would just like to highlight, Mr. Chairman, the following points to our stockholders who are joining us in this Zoom meeting. Number one, stockholders who registered via online or who notified the company via email to APMC Bacolod at gmail.com of their intention to participate in this meeting via remote communication may ask or send their questions and comments to the same email address and in the chat box during the open forum. Number two, Dr. Andrew I. Mangan, the moderator and chairman of the ASM Program Committee, will read the questions and comments received before 9 o'clock of the morning and those in the chat box during the question and answer period, which will take place during the open forum under item number 13 in the agenda. Management will reply to questions not taken up during the meeting by email. Number three, as indicated in the ballots for the voting of stockholders in absentia or in Google Forms on the website, there are 9 resolutions proposed for adoption by the stockholders in this meeting. These proposed resolutions shall be flashed on the screen as the same is being taken up. Number four, stockholders who have successfully registered to cast their votes electronically, the votes for the proposed resolution and election of directors for 2022 in the online voting portal can still join this meeting, and the polls shall remain open from 8 o'clock in the morning of the 7th of August 2022 until the adjournment of the meeting on the 14th of August 2022. And fifth, the initial votes have been tabulated after the end of the proxy validation process and the night before for the voting in absentia system. These votes are from stockholders holding 201,734 shares present in this meeting and 97.17% of the total outstanding shares of 207,600 shares. I will be referring to the results of the preliminary tabulation when I report the voting results throughout this meeting. The results of the final tabulation of votes with full details of the affirmative and negative votes and abstentions will be reflected in the minutes of the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The next order of business is the approval of the minutes of the regular stockholders meeting held on 24th of July, 2021, an electronic copy of which is available on the website of the corporation. I will now request the corporate secretary to present the proposed resolution and the preliminary votes on the item. Madam Secretary, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Board of Management is proposing the adoption of ASM Resolution number 2022-01, approving the minutes of the regular stockholders meeting held on 24th of July, 2021. As stated in the notice, the minutes of the previous meeting were sent to the stockholders together with the information statement and was also published in the company's website. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,554 shares, or 99.99%, voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, ASM Resolution number 2022-01 has been approved.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We now proceed to the next item on the agenda.
The next item on the agenda is the presentation of the annual report, which shall consist of the chairman's message, the audio-visual presentation of the hospital, and the 2021 audited financial statements to be presented by the corporate treasurer.
A pleasant morning to all our stockholders, wherever you may be. We began as Allied Care Experts Medical Center Bacolod, Inc., with the mission to increase the hospital bed capacity ratio in Negros Island, a cause badly needed by Negrense patients. While this remains part of our mission, still the founders of APMC Bacolod realized that Negrense patients need more than that. They need a state-of-the-art medical facility that is accessible within the island itself. With that in mind, our founders, who are among the most established practitioners in the region, resolved to revolutionize the delivery of healthcare and medical services in Bacolod and the Negros Island by establishing a hospital owned and run by Negrense doctors who understand the needs of Negrense patients. Thus, we endeavored to strengthen our brand and our position in the global market by forming a partnership with two other hospitals in the region whose mission, vision, and core values are also aligned with our own. Hence, we are now the Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod, Inc., and we are part of a hospital network known for international standards of care. It is our vision that by 2030, APMC Bacolod will be the top-of-mind healthcare facility with the much-coveted JCI accreditation. We shall become a true option for the Asia-Pacific region through our holistic patient care, quality training, innovation, and research. It is our mission to provide compassionate and complete healthcare services anchored on patient engagement. We believe that healing is both science and art, and much of it rests on our relationship with our patients. Hence, the services that we will offer will not only focus on treatment, but on wellness as well. Years of planning and working have given us the opportunity to provide Negrense patients an experience that is anchored on technological advancement and empathetic and compassionate leadership. We want to build a hospital that every investor shall be proud of, an aesthetically beautiful architecture that will be a landmark in Bacolod City, yet climate resilient and environmentally sustainable, and most importantly, economically viable for the company. and we will. While the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly delayed the construction of our hospital, it also gave us opportunities to ensure that we will not only stay afloat but rise above our present circumstances. In surviving the devastating effects of the pandemic, we leverage our strength with the approximation of resources available to us in every aspect of our operation. We have made adjustments in our architectural and structural plans to pave the way for a COVID-ready facility. The corrections being done now will spare us from the more arduous work for retrofitting that would require more resources had we started the construction earlier. The pandemic provided us an opportunity to reconfigure our plans to prepare for similar cases. We were able to negotiate for lower interest rates for our loan with the Development Bank of the Philippines. Further, APMC Bacolod is qualified for fiscal relief under the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises or CREATE Act, and we are now working on the compliance with the requirements for exemption to optimize shareholder returns. The pandemic continues to wreak havoc as we experience delays in our activities brought by granular lockdowns and isolation and quarantine. Nonetheless, with fiscal discipline, we will ensure that we will not only survive but thrive in the midst of this challenge. We shall operate under the principle of value for money to ensure that no resource is wasted on unnecessary expenses. To ensure transparency in the way we conduct our business, we regularly upload disclosures in our website at www.apmcbacolod.com. As a registered issuer, we have committed to make regular disclosures in our website. So we are inviting everyone to visit to check the latest updates on our hospital project. This is our way of assuring you that your investments are being put to good use. To ensure that we are keeping pace with industry standards, we shall invest in an end-to-end hospital information system, which will be reliable in the day-to-day operations of the hospital. We are in the process of evaluating a supplier of a product that will give us the competitive advantage over others in the industry. I would also like to thank all of you for your trust in me as your chairman and CEO during this pandemic. I have been called by my constituents in the 4th District of Iloilo to serve them once again as their representative in the lower chamber of Congress. In that light, I am relinquishing the CEO position to an able and dedicated local founder whose leadership will be a unifying force that will bind the management to work harder to deliver what we promise to investors and more. As chairman, I will be able to focus on corporate governance while your new CEO assumes the operational responsibilities. I am confident that the next CEO's work ethic and unwavering commitment to the task at hand will make the implementation of the company's strategic plans efficient and will overcome any struggle to achieve our vision. As it has always been, we are guided by our core values of adaptability, pursuit of excellence, mutual respect, compassion, beneficence, and integrity. Adaptability, because in the dynamic world, we embrace the advancements in healthcare technology. Pursuit of excellence, because we commit to engage in learning opportunities to enhance knowledge and mastery of skills. Mutual respect, as we value everyone for who they are and respect the uniqueness of every individual. Compassion, as we act with benevolence towards our stakeholders and the people we serve. Beneficence, because we advocate charity and equity for the good of the community. And lastly, integrity, because we are accountable to God and to our fellow men, conducting ourselves with genuineness and transparency in upholding moral and ethical principles in everything that we do. These values, with our mission and vision, are our North Star. As we move forward, we thank our investors for your patience. We will ensure that we are able to deliver better services in the future and the best on the island. Finally, Let me take this opportunity to thank the local founders for their perseverance and sacrifice to work on this enduring legacy for the Negrenses. APMC Bacolod is possible because of your selfless efforts. I would like to acknowledge as well the efforts of the founders from Iloilo who crossed over to this island and to convince our classmates and schoolmates from West Visayas State University who are based here to spearhead the establishment of our dream hospital. Soon, very soon, our dream will become the best reality for us and for our patients. Good day to everyone and stay safe.
Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod, formerly known as Allied Care Experts Medical Center Bacolod, is a medical facility founded by a group of prominent and dependable doctors determined to lead the way in bringing a highly improved, compassionate healthcare service and solution for the nation. It is built around the passion to care for the emotional needs and physical well-being of their patient and their loved ones, committed to enhance positive patient experiences in all aspects of care. The site of APMC Bacolod is located north of Bacolod City alongside Lacson Street, adjacent to an old transport terminal, and is in close proximity to the other significant transport terminals, namely the Bacolod North Terminal, Bacolod North Bus Ceres Terminal, and Silay Terminal. APMC Bacolod is a hospital facility split into two buildings, mainly Hospital Building and Medical Arts Building. The two buildings are connected to each other by bridges. The main hospital building is a 7-story building that houses the administrative, support, and primary units and departments of the hospital, which provides essential health and non-health services to admitted patients, outpatients, and their guests. Medical Arts Building, on the other hand, is a 5-story building dedicated to providing outpatient and ancillary services. APMC Bacolod approach builds on clients' inherent aspiration by creating genuinely inspiring spaces that address emotional and spiritual needs. Ideas about uplifting the human spirit have traditionally been overshadowed by narrowly focused efforts to increase efficiencies and treat sickness. Equally important is to believe in the power of a holistic approach to create real progress. Visitors to the new APMC Bacolod are presented with a structure that responds to the cultural diversity of its community and displays and expressions appropriate for a state-of-the-art facility providing the latest in patient and family-centered care. Circulation is designed to ensure a high level of light and accentuate certain areas to the acts of a focal point, as well as color contrast and material schemes and textures encourages a sense of orientation. Borrowing from home away from home aesthetic that has served the hospitality industry well, new APMC Bacolod facilities will be reducing environmental stressors, moving away from traditional clinical designs in favor of what is more familiar to patients. The ultimate goal is to create interiors that make patients feel as comfortable, while providing an efficient care model. This effect is accomplished through the use of artwork, sophisticated color palettes, texture, noise reduction methods, and natural light. Inside a wood-paneled linear element on the ceiling echoes the wood paneling in the hospital's lobby. The choice of materials such as exposed brick on a feature wall and wooden flooring will create a simple, tranquil space, an echo of tradition and culture of the city. Aligning the vision of APMC Bacolod, This station is carefully designed with functionality that meets the needs of the user, which helps in reducing the staff's stress and fatigue, increases effectiveness in delivering care, and ultimately improve outcomes and overall healthcare quality. Using enough lighting and neutral color schemes mixed with natural material and adding a contrasting color helps create a unified ambience within the space. It is designed with functionality that meets the needs of the users, increases effectiveness in delivering care, and ultimately improve outcomes and overall healthcare quality. Using enough lighting and neutral color schemes mixed with natural materials that complement each other and adding a contrasting color helps create a unified ambience within the space. This provides different distinct areas that is appealing to the guest, a space where people can relax whether individually or in groups. An industrial loft design which utilizes rustic materials and textures that gives warmth to the space. A green wall that acts as an accent wall. All are inspired from the surrounding nature and architecture, connecting both the cafe and the outside world. This features a beautifully crafted modern interior to match the highest quality of hospital equipment installed in the room. Its amenities are comparable to luxury hotels. It also provides a spacious sitting and dining area, together with washing and preparation area to accommodate the needs of the user. A mix of neutral wood elements and light colors brightens up the space, with a cool touch of accent color that creates a relaxing environment for the patients and visitors. Using wood elements like wooden vertical slots that has different levels of pattern, breaking the repetitive design and creating geometrical accents to the wall. Clean and sleek white design of the desk with a touch of natural gray stone finish. A unified neutral tones with a pop of color, natural material and texture is applied to have a cohesive design within the floor area. A communal hub integrated to the floor, catering the staff needs. A unified neutral tones and wood elements was used, which provides a more pleasant environment for the staffs. It also helps them to relieve their stress while encourages helpful behavior for the community. The space is divided into two, which then can be opened with the use of a foldable wall acoustic partition and used as a whole, giving a flexibility of space usage. Light tones and wooden elements were used to brighten the area. The space is designed with light tones and a mix of wood elements which accents of geometric form blending with the patterned gray carpet tiles, which an added acoustic element for the space. The aesthetic of this space fully welcomes visitors with personality and style. By utilizing neutral tones, natural wood texture, green element captures the core essence of the brand. Both stylish and functional, the design enhances the space productivity, which is also visible and easily accessible for users. An office area with dedicated visitor chair to accommodate guests. A lounge area where the user can enjoy relaxation and comfort or to pleasantly socialize with guests. Inspired with nature, wood elements were used as an accent material which blends with neutral tones and green potted plants, enhancing the well-being of the user. With a world-class innovative interior design solutions dedicated to provide great emphasis of APMC Bacolod's values and aspirations to cater the medical and health needs of the people of Negros. As we claim onto this passion, we will soon be seeing the rise of the next medical hub in the heart of Sugarlandia.
To our dear founders and stockholders of the Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod Incorporated, good morning. I'll be presenting to you the audited financial statements of the Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod for the year ended December 31, 2021. Mendoza, Querido and Company The independent auditors appointed by the stockholders have audited the financial statements of the corporation in accordance with the Philippine Standards on Auditing. In its report to the stockholders, MQC expressed its opinion on the fairness of presentation upon completion of such audit. According to Mendoza, Querido and Company, the following financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the company as at December 31, 2021 and 2020, and its financial performance and cash flows for each of the 3 years in the period ended December 31, 2021, in accordance with the Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. The current assets of the corporation for the year ended December 31, 2021 amounted to 92,548,346 versus the current assets for the year ended December 31, 2020 of 142,513,043. The current assets include cash and cash equivalents, receivables, prepayment, and advances to related party, contractors, and suppliers. The non-current assets amounted to 284,691,344 in 2021 and 128,972,826 in 2020. Non-current assets include the property and equipment, construction in progress, and office equipment. Hence, the total assets of the corporation for the year ended December 31, 2021 was 377,239,690 versus the total assets for the year ended December 31, 2020, which amounted to 271,485,869. The total liabilities amounted to 241,860,790 for the year ended December 31, 2021, compared to 195,172,365 for the year ended December 31, 2020. The total equity, on the other hand, amounted to 135,378,900 for the year ended December 31, 2021, and 76,313,504 for the year ended December 31, 2020. So the corporation's total liabilities and equity for the year ended December 31, 2021 and December 31, 2020 tallied or reconciled with the amount of total assets as reflected in the schedule. The hospital building is still under construction. Hence, the only income that the corporation received was interest income from bank deposits. This amounted to 514,903 for the year ended December 31, 2021, 2,635,791 in 2020, and 5,806,468 in 2019. The company incurred operational expenses, mainly due to taxes and licenses, salaries and wages, allowances, government contributions, and utilities, which amounted to 7,326,232 in December 2021, 12,857,286 in 2020, and 7,413,785 in 2019. The corporation incurred a net loss of 6,8 813,137 for the year ended December 31, 2021. 10,221,495 for the year ended December 31, 2020, and 1,607,317 for the year ended December 31, 2019. Hence, there was a loss per share in the amount of 55.39 for the year ended December 31, 2021, 106.47 for 2020, and 16.74 for 2019. The share capital amounted to 96 million for the years 2019 and 2020. On August 22, 2020, the majority of the board of directors and the vote of the shareholders owning and representing at least 2/3 of the outstanding share capital approved the increase in authorized capital stock from 120 million to 240 million. The application of the said increase of the authorized capital stock was approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, on September 21, 2021. The share capital for the year ended December 31, 2021 increased to 161,878,533. The balance at the end of the 3 years reflected deficits of 26,499,633 for the year ended December 31, 2021, 19,686,496 for 2020, and 9,465,001 for 2019. Hence, the total equity were 135,378,900 for the year ended December 31, 2021, 76,313,504 for 2020, and 86,534,999 for 2019. The cash flows from operating activities, financing activities, and investing activities are as follows. The net cash used in operating activities amounted to 6,705,892 for the year ended December 31, 2021, 373,503 for 2020, and 11,769,379 for 2019. The net cash used in investing activities of the corporation for the year ended December 31, 2021 amounted to 171,484,842 versus 73,965,056 in 2020. The net cash provided by investing activities for 2019 amounted to 19,729,610. The net cash provided by or used in financing activities amounted to 106,851,097 for the year ended December 31, 2021, 9,124,258 for 2020, and 43,940,863 for 2019. Comparing the cash and cash equivalents at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, in 2019, there was a net increase in cash of 51,901,094, increasing the total cash at the end of the year to 177,128,990. In 2020, there was a net decrease in cash of 83,462,817, decreasing the total cash at the end of the year to 93,666,173. In 2021, there was the net decrease in cash of 71,339,637, decreasing the total cash of the corporation to 22,326,536 for the year ended December 31, 2021. This concludes APMC Bacolod's 2021 financial report. Thank you very much and good morning.
May I ask the Corporate Secretary to present the proposed resolution and the preliminary voting results? Dr. Malata, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Management is proposing the adoption of ASM Resolution number 2022-02, noting the corporation's annual report, which consists of the chairman's message, the audio-visual presentation of the hospital, and approval of its audited financial statements as of December 31, 2021, as audited by the external auditor, Mendoza, Peredo & Company, and presented by the corporate treasurer. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,564 shares, or 100%, voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, ASM Resolution number 2022-02 has been approved.
We now proceed to the next item on the agenda.
The next item on the agenda is the presentation of the management report on the hospital construction status by our construction chairman, Dr. Jimmy B. Pazete.
The Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod, formerly known as the Allied Care Experts Medical Center Bacolod, was envisioned by a group of medical doctors from Iloilo and Bacolod to provide the best medical center to the people of Negros Island and beyond. A tertiary level hospital with 248 bed capacity will create a landmark through healthcare facilities and services. APMC Bacolod is a modern, state-of-the-art with international standard that will cater the needs of every patient. With its latest technological advancements in medical equipments and a qualified team of doctors, the Asia Pacific Medical Center will now be ready to serve the Negrancy with utmost care and dedication for their well-being, soon to rise in the heart of Sugarlandia. Our journey started last September 10, 2017, the groundbreaking ceremony.
It was led by the former ASMC Bacolod chairman, Dr. Amado Manuel C. Enriquez Jr., and our president, Dr. Ferginel Biron. It was witnessed by former Bacolod City Mayor Evelio Leonardia, Congressmen Greg Gasataya, and Joseph Stephen Paduano, invited guests, investors, and the founding doctors.
Our designer D&D Atelier, with their CEO, Architect Delroy Catalan, conceptualized our dream and our vision by giving us this an exceptional design solution. For us, the local founders, the task was so enormous with a lot of challenges ahead of us. But we thank the Lord for giving us a VIP leader, a visionary, inspiring, and a passionate leader in the name of Dr. Ferginel Biron, who led us in carrying the banner of APMC. And together with the blessings of our Almighty Creator, we believe that our dream will come soon into a reality.
2018 was a year of productivity. We had our DOH approval, permit to construct, and the approval of the Bureau of Fire and the OBO.
Early of 2019, a team of doctors had their site inspection, and as the momentum and the excitement increases, we all said together, it's time to build.
The construction stage was divided in different packages.
On the last quarter of 2019, we had our invitation to bid for Package 1, the substructural activity, foundation phase. It was decided that our foundation will be done with board piling activity. 3 contractors joined the bidding, namely Red Viper, Hexamines, and Silver Dragon Corporation. And finally, we awarded the substructure package to Silver Dragon Corporation, a local contractor in our city. Awarding and signing of the contract was held in Katoning's Resto in Manila last December 2019. This was attended by our President, Dr. Ferdinand Biron, together with the Board of Directors and CEO of Silver Dragon Corporation, Mr. Jerry C. Early of 2020, Silver Dragon Corporation started their mobilization, clearing of the lot area, establishment of the perimeter line, and setting up their site office. They had also started doing the rebars formation.
It was a challenging year and a scary one because of the rise of COVID cases.
The WHO declared this as pandemic year, bringing a lot of worries and uncertainties. Travel restrictions, closure of borders, community quarantine, and a lot more.
We thank the Lord that in spite of these obstacles, our construction continued. We had the pleasure of our Zoom meeting wherein we could still convene and plan out our construction. Although it was also a sad year for us local founders because we lost one of our founders, Dr. Julian Bata, because of COVID-19. May he rest in peace.
While the substructure was ongoing, negotiation for Package 2, the superstructure, began. There were 7 contractors who joined the bidding, and it was Uniton Construction Development Corporation who won the bidding. The awarding and signing of contract was held last December 5, 2020 at the hospital site, wherein our Chairman and President Dr. Ferdinand Biron and Uniton CEO Mr. Neil Tan attended the ceremony. At this point in time, Silver Dragon completed a total of 190 board piles.
We also negotiated for our steel components as our owner-supplied materials.
We decided to use the grade 50 in lieu of grade 36 because it would end up cheaper, lighter, pre-engineered and pre-fabricated. The steel component was awarded to PEB Steel. Its design drawings will be fabricated from Vietnam to be sent to Cebu, then Bacolod. Uniton started their mobilization last January 2021, putting board ups in the perimeter, building the temporary facility and the mock-up rooms. Year 2021 was also the start of our project management team, the Bureau Veritas, to help us in our construction. Uniton started their activities by doing the earthworks, excavation, exposing the board pile, the pile hacking, and the hauling of soiled materials. Footing tie beams, retaining walls, pile caps, pedestals, anchor bolt setting were also put into place.
As we joined together in our construction, we did encounter a lot of issues and challenges. However, these challenges made us work together with one desire: to finish this dream project. In the last quarter of 2021, SEC approved our new name, the Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod Incorporated.
Year 2022 was declared and prayed that APMC Bacolod will start with a big bang. True enough, God is on our side. We got our DBP loan approved last February 2022. March 2022 was another milestone in our construction. The erection of our steel components began phase by phase. And soon we will all realize that our building is rising up.
In the enthusiasm of our local founding doctors to build this hospital as soon as possible time, we acquired the services of new sets of engineers and architects to help us expedite this project.
June 2022, another milestone in our construction begins. Our Package 3, the MEPS. it was awarded to Unitan. As of today, we have a project accomplishment of 18 to 20%, and the target completion date of the hospital structure will be in the second quarter of 2024. It may entail a long process, but the waiting is worth it. We also would like to thank our investors for joining us in our dream. Together, we could make this happen.
Thank you, Dr. Pasete. At this point, may I ask the Corporate Secretary to present the proposed resolution and the preliminary voting results. Dr. Malata, you are recognized.
Mr. Chairman, managed ASM Resolution number 2022-03, noting the management report on the hospital construction status. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,564 shares, or 100%, voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, ASM Resolution number 2022-03 has been approved, and the construction report as of date of the meeting has been noted by the stockholders.
We now move on to the next item in our agenda, the ratification and approval of the resolution amending the Articles of Incorporation. Dr. Malata will explain this matter and report the partial results thereon.
The Board and Management seek the ratification of the amendment to Article 3 of the Articles of Incorporation on the principal place of business from room 4, ground floor, MC Metroplex Building, BS Aquino Drive, Bacolod City, to Lacson Street, Barangay Bata, Bacolod City. The resolution is on the screen, Mr. Chairman. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,554 shares, or 99.99%, voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, the ASM Resolution number 2022-04 has been approved.
We now move on to the next item in our agenda, the ratification and approval of the resolution amending our bylaws. Dr. Malata will explain this matter and report the partial results thereon.
The Board and Management seek the ratification of the amendment of Article 2, Section 7, manner of voting of our bylaws on the deadline of submission of proxies from 7 days to 14 days and second Saturday of April to third Saturday of March. The resolution is on the screen, Mr. Chairman. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,564 shares, or 100%, voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, ASM Resolution number 2022-05 has been approved.
We now move on to the next amendment in our bylaws. Dr. Malata will explain this matter and report the partial results thereon. You're recognized, Dr. Malata.
The Board and Management seek the ratification of the amendment of Article 6, Office, Section 1 of our bylaws to change the office address from room 4, ground floor, MC Metroplex Building, BS Aquino Drive, Bacolod City, to Lacson Street, Barangay Bata, Bacolod City. The resolution is on the screen, Mr. Chairman. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% Of the total outstanding shares, 201,564 shares or 100% voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, ASM Resolution number 2022-06 has been approved.
We now move on to the next item in our agenda, the ratification of all acts of the Board of Directors, corporate officers, board committees, and management since our last annual stockholders meeting on 24th of July, 2021 to date. Dr. Malata will explain this matter and report the partial results thereon. Dr. Malata, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The board and management seek the ratification of all the acts and resolutions of the board which were adopted from the 24th of July, 2021 until today. These acts were embodied in the minutes of the meeting, and they include resolutions on treasury matters related to opening of accounts and transactions with banks, appointment of signatories and amendments thereto, schedule of the annual stockholders meeting, election of officers, appointment of chairman and members of the board committees, and matters covered by non-disclosure to the Securities and Exchange Commission, and also enumerated in the information statement. The resolution and the voting result are on the screen, Mr. Chairman. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,564 shares or 100% voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, ASM Resolution number 2022-07 has been approved.
The next item in our agenda is the appointment of our external auditor. May I request the chairman of the Committee on Audit, Dr. Jocelyn C. Encarnacion, to enlighten the stockholders on this item. Dr. Encarnacion, you are recognized.
The Audit Committee evaluated by the performance last year of the corporation's auditor, the firm of Mendoza, Quirido and Company, and found it satisfactory. Based on the recommendation of the Audit Committee, the Board of Directors agreed to endorse again the election of Mendoza, Quirido and Company as the corporation's external auditor, and for the present fiscal year for an audit fee of 448,000 pesos, inclusive of VAT and exclusive of out-of-pocket expenses and per diem.
Thank you, Dr. Encarnacion. I would like to request our corporate secretary to present the proposed resolution on this item and the partial voting results. Dr. Malata, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Management is proposing the adoption of ASM Resolution number 2022-08 for the election of the corporation's external auditor and fixing of its remuneration. The resolution is on the screen, Mr. Chairman. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,564 shares or 100% voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, the ASM Resolution number 2022-08 is now approved.
The next order of business is the election of the 15 directors for the ensuing year. I would like to request Dr. Alben Teodoro T. Abad, Chairman of the Nominations and Election Committee, to explain this item. Dr. Abad, you are recognized.
Mr. Chairman, in accordance with our bylaws, Manual on Corporate Governance, and the pertinent rules and the regulations of the Securities and Exchange Commission, the following stockholders were nominated to the Board of Directors for the ensuing term. Nominees for regular Board of Directors are the following: Dr. Ferdinand G. Biron, Dr. Manuel Magallanes, Dr. Danilo Trigoso, Dr. Maria Ivy B. Malata, Dr. Rona T. Balinas, Dr. Maria Leila M. Banwa, Dr. Meride D. Navilla, Dr. Olga H. Palicon, Dr. Jimmy B. Pasete, Dr. May Claire R. Tadki, Dr. Anthony C. Dibucion, Dr. Wendell Z. Espinosa. Nominees for Independent Board of Directors are the following: Dr. John Clifton U. Martir, Dr. Jocelyn C. Encarnacion, and Dr. Alben Teodoro T. Abad. The Nominations and Elections Committee of the Board has ascertained that the 15 nominees, including the 3 nominees for independent directors, are qualified to serve as directors of the corporation. All nominees have given their consent to their respective nominations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abad. May I ask our Corporate Secretary to present to us the results of the election?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am pleased to announce the partial and official results based on our electronic voting platform. For the regular Board of Directors, Dr. Virginel G. Biron, 644,941 votes. Dr. Danilo C. Rigoso, 325,480 votes. Dr. Jimmy B. Pasete, 181,561 votes. Dr. Maria Ivy B. Malata, 154,492 votes. Dr. Mary D. Lavilla, 154,421 votes. Dr. Olga H. Palicon, 148,492 votes. Dr. Maria Leila M. Banwa, 146,561 votes. Dr. Ronald P. Balinas, 146,492 votes. Dr. Bel Manuel G. Magallanes, 145,461 votes. Dr. May Claire R. Taipi, 143,561 votes. Dr. Anthony C. Pichon, 143,480 votes. Dr. Wendell C. Espinosa, 142,399 votes. For the independent directors, Dr. Jocelyn C. Encarnacion, 144,560 votes. Dr. Alben T. Abad, 143,461 votes. Dr. John Clifton U. Martir, 141,560 votes. Given these results, I certify that each of the nominees has received enough votes for election of the Board of Directors.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. May I ask our Corporate Secretary to present the proposed resolutions and the preliminary voting results?
Mr. Chairman, management is proposing the adoption of ASM Resolution number 2022-09, approving the results of the 2022 election of the Board of Directors. The resolution is shown on the screen. Of the voting results, I am pleased to report that of the 201,564 shares, representing 97.09% of the total outstanding shares, 201,564 shares, or 100%, voted to approve the resolution. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, ASM Resolution number 2022-09 has been approved. Congratulations to all the candidates.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Before we proceed, I would like to take the opportunity to thank our outgoing directors, Dr. Sherwin Lo B. Rodrigo and Dr. David G. Pedroza, for their time, effort, contribution, and support during their term of office. I would like to welcome Dr. Wendell Z. Espinosa and Dr. Anthony C. Tibucion for their willingness to serve as directors of APMC Bacolod Inc. Madam Secretary, are there other matters that require consideration of the stockholders?
There are none, Mr. Chairman.
We can now proceed to address questions and comments from our stockholders. May I request Dr. Andrew I. Malien to read the questions and comments that were sent in the email and in the Zoom chat box, together with the names of the stockholders who sent them. As mentioned by Dr. Malata, questions and emails that are not taken up shall be addressed via email.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have received a common question among the majority of the investors. And this question is, when will the hospital be ready to open?
Thank you, Dr. Malien. Given the present situation and the challenges brought about by the COVID pandemic, the hospital is set to open at the end of the second quarter of 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A second question is from Ms. Loribel Echanova, and her question reads, can you elaborate on the portability clause of APMC among its sister hospitals?
Well, in the interest of time, Dr. Malien, portability is a feature that enables an investor of APMC Bacolod to have access to other APMC hospitals in the region, particularly in Aklan and Iloilo, while where management discounts, priority admissions can be availed of, among others.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The third question from Ms. Agnes Matthew. Why is the name of ACE changed to APMC?
The change of name from ACE Medical Center to APMC is a corporate decision approved by the Board of Directors of APMC Bacolod to assume a regional brand in Western Visayas along with APMC Aklan and Iloilo that would offer premium medical and hospital services in preparation for a hospital to acquire an accreditation by the Joint Commission International.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the interest of time, I will read the last and the fourth question from Dr. Jeremy John King. For fellow doctors who invested in APMC, what is the process of application to practice specific medical specialties such as diagnostic radiology in APMC?
As a general rule, we will advise our medical doctors, investors who invested in our hospital, Dr. Malien, to see our investor relations officer so that they can be guided accordingly as to the conditions that may vary depending on their field of specialty. Thank you so much. Are there other questions, Dr. Malien?
There are none, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no more questions nor matters left to be discussed in this annual stockholders meeting, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you and good day to everyone.